Welcome back, beautiful souls. Tonight, I'm not coming to you as a coach or a teacher or a woman trying to hold a thousand worlds on her back. Tonight, I'm coming to you as a woman in motion, a woman in transition, a woman stepping into the version of herself she's been whispering about for years. There's a softness in me tonight, and there's a strength in me too. And for the first time, I'm letting them coexist. I'm letting myself be powerful and human, elegant and undone, certain and still becoming. This episode isn't rehearsed, it's real. It's me choosing to lead with my truth instead of my fear. It's me collapsing the distance between the girl I've been and the woman I'm rising into. So if you're here with me, take a breath and open your heart. And let's walk into this moment together. This is the beginning of something new. Today, I sit with myself, not the version of me drowning in roles, not the version juggling jobs and expectations, not the girl who learned to survive before she ever learned to breathe, but the woman I'm becoming, the woman who has been whispering in my ears for years. She's the one I'm recording this episode for. Because this week's work is not about strategy, not about checking boxes, not about proving anything to anyone. This week's work is about identity, about stepping into the woman who already exists inside of me, the woman I keep postponing, the woman I keep telling soon, the woman I keep putting on hold because life keeps asking me to be everything except her. But today, she comes first. So here it is, my truth spoken aloud with no armor. I am done shrinking around my own calling. I am done waiting for the perfect moment to be seen. I am done writing from the shadows of who I used to be. This week, I record as the woman who leads, not the woman who tries, not the woman who hopes, not the woman who waits for permission. I record as the woman who knows her voice, knows her story, knows her power, knows where she's going, even when the path looks messy, human, and unfinished. This episode isn't meant to sound perfect. It's meant to sound true. Because this week, my psychological action, the thing that shifts everything, is simple. I speak. I show up. I let my voice claim the space my spirit has already earned. I hit record not because I'm ready, but because I'm becoming. Because leadership isn't a version of me I'm waiting to meet. It's a version of me I'm choosing to embody now. So if you're listening to this, understand one thing. This is me stepping into myself. This is me collapsing in the distance between who I've been and who I'm rising into. This is me choosing alignment over fear, movement over perfection, identity over insecurity. This week, I allow myself to be powerful without apologies, soft without guilt, visible without shrinking. This week, I record from the place inside of me that refuses to die, the place that has survived storms, carried children, held broken versions of myself, and still found a way to dream. The world doesn't need the perfected version of me. The world needs the honest one. So I record, I rise, I enter the mic as the woman who leads, and I leave it as the woman who owns her becoming. And now, as we go through this beautiful episode of my becoming, I want to share something that I wrote today, that I actually wrote probably an hour ago. And this piece needs your heart to be open. It needs you to really feel what I'm saying, because I know I'm not the only one who's gone through a journey like this. And everything I work towards, everything that I work towards, where it's the healing framework or the emotional compass or my internal work for my coaching career or whatever the case may be, everything I work towards is to help people and be of service to people who can learn from my mistakes, who can learn from me overcoming my hardships. I always said that my work and everything that I do and my reflections that I write and my stories that I write and my poems that I write are all breadcrumbs for the people that have been in the place that I was. And so as I wrote these words and I held back the tears and I kind of smirked after I was done because I was like this is real. It's real. Like I reached the end of a chapter and I'm ready to open a brand new one and open a new beginning. And so as I wrote this with my vulnerability intact and my heart on my sleeves, I want to share it with you, and I want to I want you to really open your heart to it. And if I could do it, anyone can. And I mean that from the bottom of my soul and the bottom of my heart. That if I did the work and came out with internal peace, with loving myself a million times more than I ever imagined, and living in my truth and living in my purpose and living in my career and living the dream that I once dreamed when I was a little girl. I dreamed of the person that I am today, and she lives, and I helped her live. And so this is the story of her coming home to herself. And as I read this, that's the person that was in my mind when I wrote it. And so I'm gonna share it, and then we could talk about it after. As her eyes trembled, her gaze met the ground. She lifted her arm and laid it down to the one place she feels safe enough to be, the heart that made it through all of her days of dream. She shook slightly with fear wrapped in love as she opened the door to the pure dove. She knew the day she worked so hard to reach has come. The pain lit the triumph. She believed, and now she rose so high as she couldn't hold how much her heart needed to rise. She built and dreamed that one day will come where she looked up and knew her heart has won the battle that lives inside her soul. The day has come, and you will all know what she lived and how she rose. She believed and won the battle she speaks. She waits no longer for the permission to deem. Her heart lived free, and her mind soon followed. Her pen now flows with certainty and sorrow. Sorrow for the days that made it hard to speak, and certainty for the days she lived and breathed. Her head lifted, and her finger rose to the sky as she speaks from her heart and soul. She looked and saw the sun's beam, and her heart felt him say, I hold you close and will never go away. She felt the ease of his love and grace. Now I live to tell the story I grieved. You said I got you, and now I believe that I was meant to be whatever you deemed. You held me close, and now I dream of the one day when you let me see. See the work you did behind the scenes. The scene was born, gray but lived in a ray that flowed through a golden sun's gaze. I gazed to you, and you gazed back. Now I am what you deemed me to be. The becoming came, and I grew within the strength to hold the day you dreamed for me. So that was that laugh came from, oh my gosh. Okay. I'm not used to sharing something like that so vulnerably in this moment, but that's who I have to be. That's my strength. I have to be that person. And to live in my creativity, to live in my freedom of expression, right? And it really is freedom. It frees you in some kind of way. My heart is literally beating out of my chest, people. Like literally beating out of my chest. um, but in a good way, in a fearful way. But because I healed that relationship with my fear, it's I don't think it is fear anymore. I think it's a really an exciting feeling. Like it's and that's something I mistook fear for. Like I always felt like uncomfortable or fearful, but in some situations it was really excitement. And in this moment, I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm finally ready to step into my strength. I'm finally ready to step into something that God has written for me. That God has everything you go through in life. I don't even know how to express what I feel right now. Um, but everything you go through in life, if you stay good and you stay pure hearted, God will hold you close, like, and He'll never let you go. And so I believe in that so much. Like, and I said I wasn't gonna cry, but oh well, we're gonna cry. And and I cry for one reason, because the journey was so real and it was a beautiful pain. It was literally a beautiful way to come into yourself, really, to come into who you are. And my journey speaks for itself. What came out of it speaks for itself. My intention behind everything speaks for itself. And I'm excited for the future. And so I want to thank everyone who listened. And I really would love your feedback on this. And I would love to hear what you think of, or share. I want you to share. I'm sorry. I want you to share your story of becoming. What does that mean for you? Your story of becoming. What is that? What is that? Share your story of becoming. Share how you got to this point. And share if you dreamed of the woman or man that you are today. Like what did that consist of, and are you that person? And if you're not, what are the things you need to do to get to that place? And so I hope you all enjoyed this episode. And I'm going to love you and leave you, like my teacher always says. I stole that from her, but I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a blessed and balanced day.